Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. Hello again. Hope all is well with you and you're keeping safe. Today is official day. I've got to get some official stuff done without going swanning around looking at sites. So what I have to do today is renew my driving license. So I got my first driving license 4 years ago and it lasts for 2 years. And then I've been told that after that you can apply for 5 years, but my second one, that was 2 years as well. So hopefully today I'll ask for 5 years. Now, the driving license, much like anything else in Thailand, official stuff, you have to go and queue up. Very little is done on the internet. In fact, I can't remember anything I've done on the internet regarding stuff like this. What I need today is my girlfriend's ID card, my passport, my girlfriend's house document to show where I'm living. There has to be a fee, which I don't know how much it is yet. It might be 1,000 baht, something like that. There's also got to be a document from the immigration. I've had to get a doctor's certificate to show that I'm fit to drive. 2 photocopies of my passport page showing my visa and my main page with the photographs on. So that's it. And hopefully today I will get my driving license, because I've already been once. In fact, I've been twice. The first time a few weeks back, they wouldn't renew my driving license because my visa had expired. So there was an amnesty. So as my visa had expired, they wouldn't renew my driving license. So we came away. So I went again last week with documents, and they said again that I had to go back. There was something missing. I don't know what it was. I think it was a doctor's certificate. So it seems like when you go for these things, you're very lucky to actually go and get something done. You usually have to go and find you've got something missing, they want some additional paperwork, and you've got to go and get it sorted. I just thought I'd tell you while I'm here about the process of applying for a driving license. It's totally different than in the UK. In the UK you usually sign up to a driving school and you get 10, 20 lessons, whatever it takes, and then you take a driving test after first passing the theory. But here, totally different. There's no such thing as a driving school. If you want to learn to drive, you apply for a driving license and then you get in somebody's car and then you drive off. I don't know anything about you have to have a qualified driver in the driver's seat with you. I don't really know anything about that. But the process in the office, it's all done in the transport department. It's not done on the open road passing your test. So what you do first of all is they give you a highway code and you sit there all day. They make you sit there all day and study this. And I do mean all day. The last time I applied for a license, it actually expired. So when I went back, they wouldn't renew it. They said I had to sit the test again. So I had to arrive there at 8:30 in the morning. They gave me this book and I had to sit there and study this book till 4:30, and then they came to me and said, right, we're closing now, go home and come back tomorrow. I went back the following day and then you sit a test for your reaction, and there's usually about 10 people there, so each in turn sits on this chair, and then in front of you on the floor there's a pedal, and then in front of you about 3 meters away there are 2 lights, red and green. And what the lady does who sat with the lights is she switches it from red to green and green to red. And when she switches the red light on, you put your foot on this pedal as quick as you can, and this tests your reaction time. While you're sat in that chair, you go through an eye test. So there is, just at the side of these lights, these sort of simulated traffic lights, there's a disc, and there are different size circles all over this disc, and these circles are green, yellow and red, and this lady or gent points to the different colours, and you have to shout out what the colours are, and that is your eye test. So after you've done that, what you do then is you go into a room with maybe 20 other people, and you sit in front of a monitor, and then you go through different scenarios of video on the screen. It's very, very basic. It's nothing sophisticated. In fact, it's not a running video. What you get is slideshows that come up on the screen, and you have to guess the scenario and what your reaction would be. And it's a multiple choice thing, so you get maybe 4 answers and you have to pick the right answer. Some of the scenarios that were on the road, and I remembered what the questions I had, and I thought, well, I remember putting such a thing last time, so I won't put that again, I'll put something else. So by the end of the second day, I'd passed one of the tests. I can't remember whether it was motorcycle or for the car, but I'd passed one and I'd failed the other. So I had to go back the following day and sit it again. So I don't remember it being a full day. I think by lunchtime I'd probably finished and I'd passed. So then I was issued with both my driving licenses. And I was saying earlier that anything official in Thailand is always done. It's always done, how can I explain? It's not done on the internet. It's not, you don't fill forms in and send them off through the post. You have to go to actual locations and get things done. And keep there, stay there until everything's done. And if you've not got the paperwork, you go somewhere else and get some paperwork and then come back again. And a good example of that is when I was driving here a few years ago. I'd hired a car and I was on my way back from somewhere, and this young lad on a motorbike swerved into my path, and I couldn't really avoid him. I swerved a little as well, but he hit the side of my car, and he wasn't really badly hurt. I think he'd injured his wrist on the wing mirror or something like that. So then we had to call the police. The police have to come out, and then you also call the insurance agent, and there are agents all over the place who act for the insurance companies. So the insurance agent comes out to wherever you are, and you fill in paperwork. You fill in paperwork for the insurance of what happened and make a statement, and you also, the police want you to make a statement as well of what happened, and they take both sides of the story. So this young lad, he would do the same, and I did the same. And then after that, it's all finished with. Well, it's finished with. It was on my case because there was no further action because I had very good insurance on the car, so I didn't hear anything about it. But the whole process from having the accident to me finishing the paperwork was about 3 hours, because I had to wait for the police to come, and then I had to wait for the agent, and then you have to go through all the paperwork. So it took about 3 hours. Whereas in the UK, if you have an accident, you pull over to the side of the road, assuming it's a small accident and you have some body damage on your car, you've just struck each other. So you exchange telephone numbers, addresses, insurance, and then within half an hour you're on your way again, and then everything starts to get sorted through the postal system, how long it takes. So that's what you have to put up with in Thailand if you're doing anything that's official. We interrupt this program with some breaking news. Actually no, what I thought I'd do is just come in here and just tell you what I've got coming up in the next few weeks. So coming up, Wat Pat Hoi Lat, another spectacular temple. Ancient rock paintings in eastern Thailand that are 2,000 years old. The Jim Thompson House Museum, a hidden gem in Bangkok. Nok Noch Recreation Park. Two glass skywalks that overlook the Mekong River with spectacular views. And I can show you a sponsored cycle ride with over 500 cyclists, and I was lucky enough to take part. And I'll be introducing a young lady in the name of Chloe.
I can be good or be naughty, because there ain't nobody love you like I do.
But before we go back to our main programme, here is some updated traffic news. So here is the latest traffic news of a new 6-lane highway that's just opened. But it seems like the drivers are not adhering to which side of the road they should be on. So there could be a collision at any minute. There's no problem with tyres on the ants because the rubber on the hosepipe is taking care of that. And the eye in the sky can also report this road rage that's going on between two drivers in some kind of dispute. So it's hoped that this will soon be sorted by the traffic police, and then everybody can move on their way. So I'm back now from the transport offices where I applied for my driving licence. And was I successful? Yes, I was. So there are my 2 new driving licences, one for the motorcycle and one for the car. So these now are 5 years. So the expiration now is 2026. So that's over and done with. Nothing to worry about regarding that. But when I used to drive here early on, before I got my own car and I would hire a car, I didn't have a driving licence. For the first few months I didn't. But I used my own UK licence, and when you produce that, it seemed to satisfy the police. Because what the police do here is they have roadblocks or road checkpoints. So every now and again, and it happens fairly regular, you can get to it. I got one last week. I was going somewhere on a journey in the next town, and when I came back, when I was going on the journey, I was pulled over and I was asked to show my driver licence. So I showed them the licence. They obviously spotted it had expired. So I explained that because it had expired because of the COVID-19 and my visa has expired. So they understood that and they just let me go on my way. But coming back the other way, the roadblock was on the other side of the road. So I was stopped again, and I produced my driving licence again and explain what happened again, so I went on my way. But that happens fairly regular here. You'll get roadblocks and checkpoints and you'll get pulled over, and it can be for anything. Sometimes if you're in a pickup and cars, you just get waved through, and they might pull trucks over. So one day they might have an inspection of trucks, maybe paperwork and maybe other things, because I can see they have instruments with them for measuring whatever it is. Sometimes they will pull motorcyclists over, and if the motorcyclist is going on a long journey, they will ask them why they've not got a crash helmet on, and if they've not, they'll get fined. So they get fined about 400 baht. It's not a lot, it's about £10. But I don't know what the rules are, the official rules for wearing crash helmets. I don't know whether it's against the law not to have one, but the vast majority of people here do not wear crash helmets. They all go without crash helmets. But I've always made a point of buying a crash helmet, and I bought two. I've got one for my partner as well. So I always think it's best, just common sense, whether it's part of the law or not. So I just think on a motorbike you have a crash helmet. Now, coming back from the transport offices, I had to sit a test again, not the full test, but I had to sit in front of this this, I don't know what you would call it a piece of apparatus, and it does three things. And like I said earlier, it's got a circle on the top, which is your colour blindness test. In the middle there is another thing which wasn't there last time. They seem to have introduced this, and it's something to do with distance. And then underneath that there are the red and green lights, and you have this pedal on the floor that you press for your reaction time. So he switches the green light on, and then you put your foot on the pedal as quick as you can, and they give you 2 goes at this, and you have to react to the brake pedal within a certain matter of milliseconds. So I've got a picture of the machine here. I managed to get a picture of one of these machines, and this is it here. And at the top you see the circle with all the coloured dots on, red, yellow and green, and he points to these, and you have to rhyme off what colours. I mean, I know full well that I'm not colourblind. I mean, I know full well that I put this green shirt on this morning, so I don't know why I had to go through that. But then underneath there's this little opening, and there are 2 pegs, white pegs like this, 2 posts if you like, just about that size. And what you have to do then is you have this handheld remote control, and one of these pegs is static and the other one is further back. And what you have to do is you have to press the green button, and then one of these pegs starts to move forward, and when you think it's in line you then press the red button, and then he judges how far you're off with these. If they're in line, obviously if they're a little bit out it doesn't matter, but if you're way out, well, you fail the test. So you have these 2 points like this. So that, and then underneath that you've got the red and the green thing that you do with the reaction time. So you can see that at the bottom there. So that's it, I'm made up now. I've got both my driving licenses, so I'm okay for 5 years. It's taken a long time, it's taken several weeks, because the last visa I had expired in May, and then because of the COVID-19 you couldn't travel, so the Thai authorities introduced an amnesty, and that amnesty said that you're okay up until the end of July. And then the end of July came, and then they extended it to the 26th of April, which is in fact just a few days away. It's only about 5 days away from this point now. Retirement visa in place now, so I'm okay. I'm okay up until November. So that's it. Done and dusted. So that's it for now. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please subscribe and also give it a like, and I'll see you next time.